Hi, I am Aurelia. I'm also from Stellenbosch University in South Africa. I would just like to ask about personal safety. So how does one prepare for if something goes wrong or something life-threatening is happening while you're out in the field? What can a journalist do to protect themselves? Thank you.
It's a very good question. I hesitate on this presentation to put a picture of a journalist that died in Ukraine, because the reality of the fact is that a lot of journalists are dying out there, specifically in conflict zones. So it's a tough question. For us, it's a bit different because so my team, for example, my responsibility is to plan for security, and then Michael actually here knows that because I bring him into our security advisory group for potential planning to deploy in Syria. So I'm trying to get the best people out there that knows the region, that understand risk mitigation, and put them together and have a plan for my team. So I have a very strong plan before I send anybody anywhere. I have a plan. If anything goes wrong, how to manage anything security related, and then so my team is safe, and if something happens, I can get them out of here. But for a journalist, that's very different. Obviously, usually by yourself. Sometimes you can be escorted so that's really up to also your level of risk, and then also I'm not going to say professionalism, but being escorted by local military or local non-state armed group can have advantage but also disadvantage, because obviously they don't want you to film everything, and then they might direct you into a certain direction. So yeah, I mean the personal safety is that I will advise you, and I did a couple of training also for journalists when I was in the military, when we trained the journalists on security posture, how do you keep yourself safe in this environment. But yeah, so the option is make sure you get training. There is training for journalists, and I can direct you to some very trusted name that do security training for journalists that operate in conflict zone. If you need to be in a conflict area where there will be active, fire, blunt instrument used, or riot type situation, get a body armor. Get a good blue body armor, not like those brown military type body armor that we see sometimes in Ukraine. That's a no-no. Get a blue one. Blue is recognized to be like a journalist. Put a big press logo on it. Make sure you recognize as a press and not a non-combatant. Okay. Do not hesitate to wear those. That will save your life. And I saw it a couple of times. That will save your life. Understand your environment that you are in, and that's very important. Okay. Having a good fixer and a trusted fixer to know where you should go and where you should not be. Okay. A lot of things also will come with experience, understanding some people grow up in, I'm here in Dallas. A lot of people in Dallas will never experience a trauma or some kind of conflict type experience, so they cannot recognize them. Some will grow up in countries or suburb or more difficult area when they will understand more those fear and tension, and we have a better read on the situation, and that's always come with experience. It's not gonna teach it, but at some point, if you work more and more in conflict, you will start to understand what the tense area, and when the tensions build up and when you should remove yourself from a situation. But I will build with experience. And then finally, there is a big question of, do I need armed escort? Do I need police escort? Do I need military escort? And that is only you can say yes or no, but I know a lot of journalists are doing it. Is it good? Is it bad? I don't know. It really depends. For us humanitarians, for example, we usually don't do armed escort. We prefer to have the visual deterrence of we are humanitarians. If we don't have the acceptance of the community, we should not be there. So we don't need armed escorts, because if the community do not accept us, this is one of our security strategy, we should not be in this position. It's not in all cases. Some cases are a bit different, but you know, that's how we operate most of the time. So as a journalist, I think you have the same question. If I'm escorted by the military, should I have been perceived to be on their side? So I mean, there's a lot of things that you need to take into consideration when you consider an armed escort or military escort. I don't know, is that answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.